The difficulty in capturing a scene like this one is that you need a very broad depth of field in order to capture the entire scene in focus. But you also need a very fast shutter speed in order to capture these bursting bubbles and the water that's flying around over here in sharp focus. In this case, we'll use a tilt-shift lens to accomplish that. We can use a very wide aperture and still get the fast shutter speed that we need. We start with both the tilt and the shift at 0. Jay sets up his composition to include foreground, midground, and sky. And then he uses the focus ring to adjust at about the midpoint of the scene, sometimes a little closer. The next step is to zoom in on the screen on the back of the camera and take a look at the foreground. Jay wants to make sure that the foreground is very sharp. So he adjusts the tilt on his lens slightly downward until the foreground appears to be in perfect focus on the screen on the back of the camera. He zooms in as much as he can to check that. And then, on the back of the camera, he moves up so that he can see details in the distance. He'll check to make sure that those are also in focus, make some slight adjustments to the tilt and maybe to the focus ring as well, and then he'll take his photograph. The final scene will be sharp in the foreground, midground, and the distance. And because he can use a wide aperture with a tilt-shift lens, he should be able to get those splashing bubbles in the foreground in sharp focus.